Hey, 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 we are live. I want to welcome YK Reviews to a Friday Night Hangout special edition, special later night edition. I think this is like one of the later ones that I've done, but hey, man, it's Friday night. It's the freaking weekend. I'm stoked.
Yes, me too.
How's your week been? How's everything been going in your world?
It's been pretty relaxing. With mostly been on vacation this month, like no work, no nothing. So just been honestly relaxing a little bit too much, but it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah, same here, man. Like this week has been great because I literally only had a few days of work. I took some days off, dude, because I've been like nonstop like 5 days. Like even the days that like I'd have off for like the holidays, like I still had so much stuff to do anyway. So it wasn't
Yeah,
like a day off, you know what I mean? So I was happy to just kind of unwind and just kind of do like a whole lot of nothing a couple days this week. I just love doing that, a whole lot of nothing,
yeah.
chilling at home.
It sucks though because like there's not a lot of like movies out right now to even
No.
enjoy the vacation, like to just go and just watch a random movie. Like there's nothing this month. That's why even like on my channel too is that I've not reviewed much just because it's January. This January is like I don't know, like a ghost town for movies this month.
I totally agree. I was talking to a couple other people. I was talking to another YouTuber today, Mike from Did You See That? And we were just talking about movies in general, and we talked about this month. And I was telling him like, dude, like the last like 3 movies or so, dude, 3 or 4 movies, it's been really bad. I mean, oh man, like last night, I haven't done a review yet or recorded it. I'm planning to do it tomorrow, but I'll just go ahead and tell you all and the few people that are watching. I watched Miller's Girl last night with Jenna Ortega.
Oh yeah, is it bad?
Oh, it's awful.
Really?
So I went last night for a 6 o'clock showing. This was premiere night, Thursday nights. Does Canada do Thursday night showings if it comes out
Yeah,
on a Friday?
yeah. They do it like 7 p.m. onwards on Thursdays.
Okay, it varies. Like sometimes they'll do a little bit earlier showings, but this one had a 6 o'clock showing. I was the only one that got a ticket. I had the theater to myself. And the theater was like, even outside the theater when I arrived, I got there a little early. I always get there really early. I like to chill and just kind of chill in my seat and stuff. But there was like nobody there. It was so empty. And man, that movie was bad. Like I'm gonna have a full review soon, but dude, one of the worst endings I've seen to a movie in a while. It's really bad.
I'm genuinely surprised.
Yeah, dude. I honestly think that she must have gotten like some contract where she had to do X amount of movies and like that one was just included and like she had like no say is what I'm thinking because the script was bad. It was bad. I'm really interested to see what people think of it though and see if people are gonna do a lot of reviews on it because to be honest with you, it's not. Uh, so I have literally like 4 or 5 different theater chains, and I have about 14 movie theaters to choose from if I wanted to go to them because they're spread out. And there was only 2 theaters that were playing that movie, so I don't know if that's full access for that or not.
I saw it on like Rotten Tomatoes. Like there was a post last night or the night before that. It was
Hmm.
like 27% on Rotten
Yeah,
Tomatoes for this movie. And I don't get it. Like it. I mean, the trailer looked decent. It's got General Ortega in it, so I'm genuinely surprised that it's going this negative for everything.
yeah. It just the narrative of that movie wasn't very good. I'll go through a couple comments while we are here. Mike saying 2 legends in the game. What's up, Mike? Um,
Appreciate that, Mike.
says hope you're doing well, fellas. And he has a question for you, YK. He says, "What's the worst movie that YK has ever seen?"
I would have to. There's been lots, but the one that springs to mind right now is Amsterdam. I would say that's like
yes.
I've I remember like I'll always remember that movie experience, not for the movie, but for the man like that was ahead of me in terms of the rows.
Uh-huh.
I was snoring so loud that even I was like, I was jealous of the guy because he must have been in like a good deep sleep. I'm sitting here watching this bore fest of a movie.
It's funny you mentioned that because not that movie, but I went to go see Chevalier, and it was in a really tiny theater, and the guy was doing the same thing. He literally fell asleep really early on, and he snored the entire movie, dude.
Another one I remember too was like back in the UK. It was with Bradley Cooper. I think it was called Limitless or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. I don't remember hating that movie. I don't remember loving it either. It's been a while, and I think I've only seen it once, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
I've seen it once too, and I remember like it was so bad that me and my friends literally started having popcorn fights. Like we were seeing how far we can put the popcorn in. Literally, like one of our friends was trying to like throw it and see if we can catch it in our mouth because it was empty. Nobody was there. It was just us,
Oh yeah.
and so we just like were having fun. Like we didn't pay. We were able to sneak in, and even watching it for free, I felt like I wanted my money back. That's how bad it was.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, I was sitting in my seat watching Miller's Girl last night, and I honestly thought about walking out, dude. It was a really bad movie, dude. Like really freaking boring, dude. Like I hate using that word because like it could be very overused, after a while. But dude, when it's boring, it's boring. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I try to be patient. I have like a threshold too because I feel like if the movie isn't developing after an hour, that's when I'm kind of like, all right, we got to get something developing here, narrative. I think that's a pretty good like time limit to like figure out like, okay, let's get something going. I don't know how you are when it comes to movies. Like, are you more patient or like, do you feel like you have to wait a little bit? Like you can wait a little bit and be okay with it. I guess it depends on the movie, I guess.
I've got this thing where I can't walk out of a movie like theater. I can't just stop watching a movie. It's something weird about it. It's just I have to finish it, even if it's like terrible or just not worth watching. I can't just leave and like not know what happens or not see the end of it. So even like some slow burn movies, like I have got more patience towards movies, even if they're like slow paced. But I think as I'm getting older, even like the Kitchen with Netflix that I reviewed last week, it's a slow burn movie, and even I was just getting like I was like pushing myself like, no, like you've never watching a movie before, like it's gonna come good. It's gonna come good. Thankfully, like the last 20 minutes, it comes good. But I think as I'm getting older now and I'm just getting more tired with life, I'm just losing more patience with movies.
Yeah, I can understand on that. I think it just like depends, I guess, on the movie and like what you're expecting. Because I mean, some of the slowest movies can still be good, I guess, but I guess it just depends on the movie and like, it can depend on mood and stuff too. So that depends. But yeah, I was really surprised by Miller's Girl last night and the pacing for that one. Anthony saying these two pimps on a stream together. Let's go. What's up, Anthony?
Anthony.
And he has a question for you. He says he wants to know your top five favorite superhero films. I know you got a top five.
Top 5 superhero movies. I would say it's not going to be in particular order then because my mind is jumbled right now. But it's Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, Batman: The Dark Knight, Matt Reeves' Batman, and then Avengers Endgame / Infinity War. I'm just going to put those two together. And number 5. Because right now my mind's only going for DC and Marvel, but I know there's other like superhero movies out there. But I think Winter Soldier right now, off the top of my head.
Okay.
Go through all the superhero movies check. But in terms of those 4 previous ones, those are always like ones I would rewatch. Spider-Man 2 is in my top 5 movies of all time, and then
Nice.
the rest, like the Dark Knight and Matt Reeves Batman are the 2 of my favorite Batman movies.
Nice. Yeah, I always love the Dark Knight trilogy in general. I've always, I mean, the regular, like, just the Dark Knight just by itself, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's an amazing movie. Um, Heath Ledger in that is amazing. So I totally agree with that. I feel like Endgame and Infinity War, yeah, they kind of like go hand in hand since they
Mm.
kind of connect everything. And I feel like those are movies that I don't know if superhero fans will ever maybe get that same kind of feeling because of that epic conclusion with that whole story. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'll be wrong or prove wrong later on, but I don't think I've ever seen like a theater packed or like more hype between like those 2 movies than any superhero movie, really.
I can't see it ever happening again with the way that, like, and I hate this term, the superhero fatigue, but with the way that Marvel is going and DC is just like in limbo right now, I
Mm.
just don't see anybody like even just talking about superhero movies, let alone feeling like the lead up to that experience will ever be replicated again. Like phase 4, phase 5 with Marvel has just been so up and down, hit and miss that like even I was going to be talking about on the weekly news, but like I never had a chance to record it or anything. But lately, Fantastic Four, they're doing another rewrite when it comes to that. Spider-Man 4, Sony wants to have it where they want to bring back Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, whereas Kevin Feige and Tom Holland want to make it a more grounded level superhero movie. So it's just like everything's a mess. Like Stephen Young leaving the Sentry role and all of that stuff. So it's just like I don't know which direction Marvel's going. Even like you tell me that Avengers Secret War and whatever Avengers 5 turns out to be, if it's going to be King Dynasty or not,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go there because I want to see what's going to happen. But my enthusiasm isn't like I need to get these tickets like it was with Endgame. Like I genuinely feel like tickets for Secret Wars isn't going to be as difficult to get as it would have been for Endgame or Infinity War.
Yeah, it's very interesting, like where they're gonna go. I'm happy that they're not doing like 4 movies this year
Yeah.
because I really think they need that time to reflect to really make these movies like where people like care, like are buying into what they're trying to do. I feel like Deadpool 3, I feel like it could be really good from what we've been seeing, like with the photos and bringing Hugh Jackman in and everything like that. Like, I really feel they could get back on track. I felt like with Guardians, it seemed like they were on like the positive wavelength there for a little bit, and then it kind of fell off again. I feel like Marvel's was obviously not really well received, and then also like DC's kind of a mess right now, and then you have Madam Web, and it seems like there's no hype for that movie at all. Like, does anybody want to see that movie? Like, honestly.
I think people only want to see it for like for the cast themselves, like Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney. I think that's the only reason that people are looking to go for it. But yeah, no. Other than that, the Sony movies are it's in shambles right now.
Yeah.
Like Sony, but even when it comes to Deadpool 3, the excitement level is there, but it feels like it's leaning more towards like the nostalgia factor and it being like a standalone like superhero Marvel movie, not really to do with the MCU or anything like that. It's more of just like closing out the Fox Universe trilogy of movies. So that's the excitement level for that is. But I feel like that as a standalone thing, any other Marvel projects, I'm not really excited, or I would not be putting it in my like top 10 anticipated movies.
Yeah, from the trailers and the clips, it's just it hasn't really drawn me in. I'm kind of looking to see like what people say about it a little bit, watching some reviews. having a few friends maybe like guinea pig test it out and like tell me like, is it worth me to get a ticket price for that, or is it worth me just wait until it comes to home viewing? Because I had a few friends do that with Marvels, and they were like, "Yeah, it wasn't very good." And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to watch that like anytime soon. So,
Yeah,
what'd you say?
yeah. I said I don't blame you for that.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean that, and then the shows too have been kind of taken off as well because if you know me, I don't watch a lot of shows. I think I'm usually pretty clear on my channel. I don't watch a lot of shows. I just don't have the time a lot of times. But I've been trying to give a few of them a chance. And I didn't watch Echo, but I haven't heard good things really about that either. Like nobody's really been talking it up. I mean, actually, I've actually heard I feel less buzz about that show than some of the other shows that were coming out, months ago. So I don't know if you have felt that way or, I don't know if the buzz isn't there or what, but
like when it comes to the Marvel shows, like it's more of just watching it for the videos to make rather than anything else. I echo like the show got me more invested in the character because when she appeared in Hawkeye, I honestly did not bother whatsoever with the character or anything like that. But then the show got me invested in it. But I don't know, like the storytelling and like the finale too, and with what
it's all good.
What they did with Kingpin, like I hated what they did with Kingpin in that, and it just feels like the shows really have like no idea with it feels like they're just making it up as each episode goes along. There's no clear plan for that. So like before you set out to make the show, you would think, okay, like this is what we're going to start off with, this is how it's going to be executed, and this is going to be the finale. But what baffles me is the runtimes too. It's like first episodes are always the longest, and then it just gets shorter and shorter, and the finale is like 30 minutes, 35 minutes sometimes. It's just like I even the buzz too. Like I remember when WandaVision first came out, each episode like it was talked about everywhere on YouTube, on Twitter. Like the community was like buzzing about each episode and the mystery and stuff. But then I generally don't remember. I generally remember Echo, and barely anybody was talking about it. And then even once it like aired all 5 episodes, a couple of people were talking about it. But then other than that, it died down after like a couple of hours of the show airing, and then that's it. Never heard of again.
Yeah, it definitely has been a rough patch with them, with their shows for sure. Let's see, we got Dave saying the goats. Thanks, Dave. Spicy 4K saying happy Friday to everyone. Happy Friday, man.
Happy Friday, man.
We got Drew in here saying what's up, and he said to us, what movie, we were just kind of talking a little bit, touching about February movies. What movie coming up in February are you looking forward to the most?
I think Argyle is the movie. Yeah, Argyle, because like that cast looks really interesting to me. I'm really curious about the plot. Henry Cavill with that buzz cut is honestly like the thing I'm really, really looking forward to see on the big screen. But Argyle, I would have to say. Madam Web, I'm looking forward to seeing it just because I'm curious to see how bad Sony is going to mess this up. But Argyle for me is like in terms of excitement level, Argyle would be the one for me. But I don't remember like any other movies coming out in February.
So yeah, this week, I don't know if you guys are into the same release schedule. This week is Argyle. The second week is just Lisa Frankenstein here. The third week is Bob Marley and Madam Web. And the last week is a Christian movie called Ordinary Angels and Drive Away Dolls. So that's it for February. And the rest is just like small movies like streaming and I only know this dude because I have like a list in my phone. So I remember. So if you're going, how the fuck did he know that? So I just remember from memory because I remember I try to plan everything ahead of time as far as like what I'm going to review and what I'm going to watch. For me, believe it or not, I at first I was like, I don't know if I want to watch it, but I think Bob Marley is the one that I'm looking forward to learning most about because I don't know like really anything about him. I just know like he was, like a big reggae musician. I don't know anything else about him. Like, never like looked him up or really gotten too much into his life. So I'm very interested in it. From the trailers, it looks really
Yeah.
good, and I think it has a lot of potential. So that would be my pick for February.
Yeah, I agree. I remember the trailer and like the sequences of when he was like in the house, and I think it was like police that came to inside the house. It looked really intense, and it looks like a really interesting backstory with him. So yeah, I didn't even realize it was coming out in February. I thought it was coming out in March. So yeah, that one definitely is one to look out for.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I'm definitely looking for too. That would be my answer, Drew. Let's see. Dave says he's looking forward to Lisa Frankenstein. I don't know about that one just because from the trailers, it didn't give me much of a vibe of something I want to rush to see. It's probably one of those movies I will watch, but probably not in a theater, to be honest with you.
So,
Anthony says Grown Ups 2 is one of the worst movies that I've ever seen. It was one of the only times that I ever felt embarrassed to be in the theater. I have to say that I do like the first Grown Ups, Anthony. I don't like the second one. And if I remember correctly, I think I've only seen it once. I think that's the one with like Taylor Lautner and a few of the other. I know Taylor Lautner, I believe, was in that one. But yeah, I remember that one was terrible. I don't know if
that's
you
the
ever
one
saw it.
where Taylor were having like this back and forth with Taylor Lautner and like this cliff with a river and stuff like that. And they had to like jump naked in
Mm-hmm.
the water, right? Or was
I
that great?
believe so. I believe so. Yeah, I remember seeing it and I did not like it. Um, I am interested though in Adam Sandler's that Netflix movie Spaceman.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see how that will go. I like seeing him in different roles, and that's one thing. Like some of the actors, sometimes like I want to see them do other stuff than besides doing the same stuff all the time. Mix it up a little bit. I like the variety. I'm like that in general. Like there's certain genres I probably like more than others, but I do like to have that mix up of different stuff. So I'm glad that he's doing that movie because like when he's done stuff other than comedy, he's proven that he can
yeah,
do good movies. Like a movie like Uncut Gems, I really like that movie.
yeah.
I thought he did a great job in that movie, and it just proved that he didn't need to be in a comedian type role. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do with Spaceman.
Yeah, same. That's definitely one to watch out for. One I'm really excited about, just because of the unique style that he's going to go for, especially like Uncut Gems. I think the movie Champions with him as a basketball coach. I really, really enjoyed his performance in that. So I do prefer when he, like even comedians in general, when they do go for like these more serious roles, they do
Mhm.
actually bring a different side to it. And with Spaceman, especially with Paul Dano as well, voicing the spider, I think that's going to be a really, really interesting movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That one I'll definitely be checking out on Netflix. I actually want to. There's a bunch of stuff I want to check out on Netflix that, just different movies for like the award season for Oscar contention that I'm interested. Alrighty, we got Jason in here saying, "Hey Ryan, hi Ryan, hi everyone. What's up,
Yeah.
Jason?" Anthony saying, "Hey Jason." Jason saying, "Hey Anthony, nice to see you here. I'm on my lunch break now for 30 minutes." Well, I appreciate you joining, Jason.
Thanks for coming.
Dave saying The Lift is the worst movie for January, to say the least. I've heard bad things.
Yeah, I've not been able to check it out, but yeah, I've not seen a single positive review when it comes to that movie.
I feel like at this point, his comedy and his act is kind of worn out. I did recently. I did rewatch. Have you ever seen Ride Along and Ride Along 2?
Yeah,
I like him in those. I don't know if you like those movies, but I like him in those. There's movies I like him in, but I feel like nowadays he's just doing like the latest like generic like comedy movie that they can throw on Netflix, and they'll throw him in like a. I mean, I think The Lift is more of a. I guess it's an action comedy. I think is what it is, from what I remember. I could
Yeah,
be wrong.
yeah, it was like an action comedy
Okay.
heist movie. But I thought it was going to be a serious movie. I didn't know it was going to be like a comedy based on like I have not seen the trailer. I saw the posters and stuff, so I thought it was going to be a serious, like intense spy heist comedy thriller. But then, from what I'm hearing, it just turns out to be like another generic Netflix movie that's a wasted potential.
Yeah, it's a shame. I feel like they've had quite a few of those, like movies like Red Notice and I can't think of other titles right now, but I feel like they've had a few of them. He says, "Is YK watching the Rumble? I am sure you have heard the Vince drama. He's fully resigned for WWE. Really, he resigned? I heard, like, my wife sent me today, I guess, like, another allegation that happened. I didn't know he resigned, though.
Yeah, I had no idea he resigned or anything. I've been, because for the last 2 hours I've been off of the internet, picking up his son and getting ready for his dinner and stuff like that, so I haven't checked out anything. But yeah, I've been keeping up with the Vince drama. I've seen the lawsuits, I've seen the like thing that came out as well and all that information, and it's pretty barbaric. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to repeat what was read or anything like that, but let's just say some things were put on this lady's head that should not have been put on her face and her head. And yeah, it's just like he seems like a fucked up dude. Like,
yeah,
right from the very beginning, especially from like the early days and what he would make the women do on live TV. So I'm not surprised, but I had no idea about him resigning at all. I don't blame, like, because I think WWE and TKO, I think it's called, like they merge together. So there's like this big like thing with them. So I guess they just want to remove Vince from everything to do with them so that they're in a positive light, especially with like, the Rumble coming up too. And yeah, I'm going to be watching the Rumble. Like, since my wife is out of town, I'm going to get my 3-year-old to watch the Royal Rumble, introduce him to his first WWE event so he can start him young.
Nice. Sounds good. I've kind of been like in and out of wrestling for a little bit. I may watch. Is it Sunday, the Rumble?
Saturday. It's like they're doing this new thing now. It's like Saturday pay-per-views, which not a fan of. I prefer Sunday pay-per-views, but it's still Saturday.
The aeroplane, Daddy.
Okay.
It's all good. Let's see. He said Spider-Man 2 and The Dark Knight are my top 5 as well. So he's saying great choices to that. What's up? Welcome to the camera. What's your name?
Isa.
He said Isa?
Yeah, Isa.
Welcome. Who's your favorite wrestler?
I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
Do you want to go play your own?
No one pulled the plane.
Okay, you go for the airplane.
No one pulled the plane review.
Okay. It's okay. Do you want to watch Baby on Rumble?
No. I want to go beside you.
Okay, you sit beside me. Okay.
So he said on here, he also thinks that Constantine is excellent and very underrated.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually seen that movie too. I remember watching it very young, but I know I can't remember if it was a reboot or a sequel that they wanted to do with it, but
so I heard.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's not talked about enough, that movie.
I'm gonna disappoint you, Anthony and Spicy. I've never seen Constantine.
I definitely
another movie I haven't seen. If it's old, dude, I probably have not seen it, dude. I just growing up, like my movie going experience is just different from everybody else because I just didn't watch a lot of older movies, especially if it's 80s movies and like back. I probably haven't seen it most likely. But I'll get around to it eventually. He's saying Spicy's saying Constantine is super underrated. And they're saying hey back and forth. And then Dave says, I will see Madam Web if I'm really bored. Okay. Well, you might be bored because February is another rough month, bud. So honestly, you may be forced in to see it. And that's another thing too. A lot of times these movies, they know when to put them out because there's nothing around. So like we'll go see them anyway.
Yeah.
I feel that way.
Especially the first 2 months, like January, February, is sort of just like a dumping ground for like movies that they're not too invested into like this blockbuster kind of thing. They just want to throw it out there. So Madam Web, what cracks me up is that they're releasing it on Valentine's Day as well. It's like you want people to spend either their Valentine's Day or just be by themselves on Valentine's Day and watch Madam Web, like, which you just know the story's not going to be even that great either. So it's just like that for me is a weird choice of releasing it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's also weird too because usually Valentine's Day they usually have some like lovey-dovey romantic movie. There's none of that this year, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Usually they got one every year. Like, I think last year, I guess it was like Magic Mike, and then they released Titanic, which I don't know. It's not really. It's romantic, but it's also a tragedy. So I don't know how. I guess you could have your partner crying on you while you watch it. I guess, but yeah, like this year, no romantic movies. Kind of weird, but
yeah,
it's what it is. Spicy's saying Logan as well is high on his list. So you guys are gonna hate me here. I haven't watched Logan either. So. Okay, so I'm really bad with the X-Men. X-Men growing up, I've seen the first X-Men because I did a collab with somebody on YouTube. And I know I've seen Apocalypse and I think 2 others. But to be honest with you, I don't remember them because like my friends like dragged me to the theater and I went to go see them. So I didn't really have any context towards them. I did last year buy the newer X-Men films on 4K, so I want to dive into that eventually. But my stack is this high, so who knows when I'll get to that? But I mean, it's always on the watch list, so the list always grows and grows. It never goes down. But yeah, I don't know why. Like X-Men. I did used to watch the cartoon a little bit growing up, but I don't know why I never really watched the live actions. I don't really have a reason. I never disliked them or anything. But the first X-Men that I watched, I mean, I liked it for what it was. I don't think it was amazing or anything like that or any top superhero movie, but I didn't mind it. So yeah, I haven't seen Logan. Another one.
Logan is a really, really great movie. It's the perfect writing, perfect way to end the story for Wolverine 2. That I highly recommend for you to watch.
Yeah, I gotta eventually get to all that, dude. There's just so many movies. People are gonna be killing me in the comments. I got more people asking me about other movies that I haven't seen up here. So this is another set of movies I have not seen. He says, I've seen the trailer for the new Omen movie, Jason, and I do like the teaser trailer. I like the music in it, so I'm very hopeful. And no, I have not seen any of the Omen films. Have you seen any of the Omen films?
I've seen the first 2 Omen, but not the remaining 3.
Okay.
It's definitely ones I've got on my list. I've got a whole bunch of horror, these types of movies that I plan on doing for Halloween, October time that I want to review and check out. So October is the month that I want to do all of that. But in terms of the trailer, I'll be honest, it intrigued me, but it wasn't one where I would rush out to go see when it releases in theaters. It's sort of just I'd want to watch another trailer first before anything, but it just hasn't captured me so far with this trailer. It's giving me like Exorcist Believer type of vibes when it comes to how the movie's going to play out and how the story is going to be. Like, after seeing Exorcist Believer, that trailer, I just felt like I'm going to back away from this movie. Like, I'm going to wait for the reviews, and it proved me right with all the reviews for that. So it's giving me that same type of vibe with this movie.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer hasn't really shown too much. I just like the music. It was. I just remember it just from the music. But yeah, I don't know if I really have any expectations for it. It's just a horror movie, and like usually any horror movie, I'll go see in the theater usually. And I feel like April is going to be one of those months, at least so far. It seems like we get pretty much one movie a week. So I think that might be the only movie releasing that week. So I'll probably just check it out anyway. So.
When is it releasing?
April 5th here.
Yeah, because there was a trailer that came out today called it's either Monkey Man or Monkey Paw. It's I can't remember the actor's name. It's like a Bollywood. It's like a Bollywood type of John Wick movie. The trailer looks fantastic. Like the action stunt sequences look incredible. Like that movie's coming out April 5th, and after the trailer from today, that's probably the movie I'll watch more than this one if it's between those.
I got you. I haven't heard of that one, so I have to look it up, to be honest with you. You know, a lot of the Indian movies, dude, they really go for the gusto when it comes to how they make their movies. They're long movies, but man, they're serious about their cinema over there.
Yeah, no, I remember growing up, like my mom would love Bollywood movies, and growing up, we like she would always make us sit and watch these movies with her. And after watching like the first two, like yeah, these Bollywood movies really hit. Like she would love the romantic ones, but like even the drama ones too. There's some really great Bollywood movies, especially in like the 90s and the early 2000s, that I honestly would go back and rewatch. Like there was one that I made my wife watch called, I think it's called Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham, and that movie is like a family drama type of movie, and it's just really like they have some great songs. It pulls at your heartstrings. So yeah, Bollywood movies really are great, and even not last year but the year before, RRR. That really surprised me.
That was a great movie.
Great movie, yeah.
I wish they would put that on physical. I would pick that up. That was a really good movie. Like, so caught me by such surprise too. And a lot of people really were really searching for that movie up on YouTube, I think, because it seemed like everybody's reviews did really well. I noticed like people were hitting the numbers on that one. So yeah, everybody was really intrigued by that. Let's see, Spicy saying, if I'm going to watch a show, watch Invincible. Highly recommend.
Yes.
So what, that one, I think that's on Prime, I think?
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, so I have Prime, so maybe I will dive into that eventually. Dave's saying he's going to see Ordinary Angels. All right. Yeah, that looks like a movie that my mom would probably watch, to be honest with you. But hey, man, like, I mean, it could be good. So, you know, I like Hilary Swank. I don't feel like she's in a lot anymore, but I like her. He's a Cole Sprouse fan. Who's Cole Sprouse? I don't know.
I'm not too familiar with that.
Not sure who he is, but that's great that you're a fan. Holland saying, what's up? What's going on, Holland?
Hey, Holland.
Michael, this is my sister's husband. He's saying Grown Ups 2 is your sister's favorite movie. Oh, man. I know he's joking on that, but I like that's funny. He says, Brian and I are going to fight LMAO Browns Ups 2 pure comedy. Oh, Grown Ups 2. Oh, boy. Are you being serious or are you messing with me, bro?
I would love if they named it Browns Up 2 instead of
Browns Up 2. I had to reread that for a minute. Oh, man.
To be fair, there was some great there were some funny scenes in there. Like there was some couple of good scenes in there, but overall, like, it's not enough for me to hold the movie together.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think I've only watched it maybe once or twice, and it just didn't do it for me. He says, I watched Stuber recently over my snow freeze, and it's fantastic. Definitely going to review it this year. I do like Stuber. I saw that one, I think, when that one came out, Dave. I think for a short time I was working in the movie theater, and I think we got that movie. And I watched it a couple times while I worked there. And I have it on Blu-ray. So I do like that movie. Gosh, I forget the guy's name in there. I don't remember the main actor's name, but he's in Eternals. I think it's
Kumala Nanjiani.
That guy, yeah. I'll mess up his name. I do like him, and I think him and Batista did really good in that movie. So that was like a real fun, like, action comedy film. So I agree with you on that one, Dave. So I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on that one. Dave saying, referring to Vince, saying, yeah, he's done from TKO as well. Sean Ross confirmed it. So that's interesting. Who knows what's going to happen with that? I wonder with, like, his money and power and fame, like, if he'll, like, pay his way out of it or something.
I don't think this is, like, the first person coming out, but because I think either last year or a couple of years ago there was somebody else like saying something similar about how he was, like, treating them, or like how he was with them. So this isn't the first one, but yeah, like with these billionaires, money talks.
We will see on that. Let's see. Wookiees, movies, and music. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Dave says, I think the new Walking Dead spinoff is going to bring back the hype the OG show did back in the day. Yeah, I've watched, I think I told you this, Dave. I've watched a few of the seasons, the earlier seasons. Honestly, I think I don't even know how many seasons there are now. I think there's like a prequel show or not, or it's like an after show or something after that. I don't know. It's so many episodes. It's a lot to watch.
Yeah, I've never seen The Walking Dead. Like,
oh, okay.
It's one I definitely am planning on checking out because I have heard good things about the show, and the prequel I've been hearing mixed things about it, but the spin-off, I think, like seeing trailer reactions and stuff, people are excited about it, but yeah, I need to watch Walking Dead.
Yeah, like I said, I watched a few seasons. It was pretty good. I think Lisa Frankenstein comes out on Valentine's Day. It comes out the 9th, I believe, because it's weird because I think Valentine's Day is like a Tuesday or Wednesday, I think, and the 9th is a Friday. So yeah, so I think Valentine's Day is like Tuesday or Wednesday or something. So I guess like they just have that coming out that week. And he said, Drew says, I'm really looking forward to seeing Bob Marley. Comes out February 14th. Yeah. I was just saying that, Drew, that Bob Marley looks pretty good. And I am definitely looking forward to it. Like, when I first saw the trailer, I was kind of like, I don't know if I really want to watch it. But I'm sold on the newer trailers. And it looks like it's going to be a good biopic. I feel like there's going to be a couple decent biopics this year. The Amy Winehouse biopic looks like it could be pretty good.
I haven't checked out the trailer for that one, actually.
Yeah, that one comes out in May. So.
I'm going to plan with you.
Let's see. Anthony saying, it's all good, Ryan. We all have movies that we haven't seen, man. You'll get around to Constantine Logan eventually. Yes, that's what I say. No, I'm just like, I feel like, so my buddy Mike, did you see that? He always gets like joshed on because like he hasn't seen a lot of movies. And I feel like I've seen even less than him because I don't know. It's just, older movies, like for whatever reason, like, you know, the way that I grew up with movies, because my parents, they were never like really big on movies. I don't like, I went to the theater a little bit, like see like Disney movies or something like that growing up, but like my dad wasn't going, here, let me show you like the Sylvester Stallone Rocky movie like from the 80s, or something from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like I just didn't have that background. So, and then like my mom, when she watches movies these days, it's usually like Lifetime movies, Hallmark movies. So like, because it's funny because her and her husband went to go see they wanted to go see this Christian movie, The Hill, last year, and I went to go see it with them, and I was like, this movie is really corny, it's not very good. And they're like, oh, we love this movie, it's so good. And like, I'm like, oh, okay. But like, they watch a lot of those Lifetime Hallmark movies, so it made sense. Dave says, I was definitely shocked by how much I enjoyed Anyone But You. Sydney Sweeney is a bae. Laugh out loud. Yeah, me and my wife went to go see that, Dave, and I didn't do a review on the channel, but yeah, I was surprised by that movie too. The humor wasn't too bad in it. It got a little corny at certain parts, but I liked it for what it was. The story was interesting enough, and it worked. And yeah, she is a bae. She's pretty hot.
Yeah.
But I honestly hadn't seen her in anything up until that movie. I had never seen the show. What, she's in Euphoria, I think. I believe. I think she's in Euphoria, and then obviously she's going to be in Madam Web. So she's starting to break out, it seems like. So, but yeah, I agree. I like that movie. I don't know if you're planning to see that or have any interest.
Yeah, I do want to check it out. I'm probably waiting for like it to come on streaming for me to check it out. Just not had the time to check it out while it was on theaters.
Yeah, it's doing half decent. It's kind of sticking around. So, and that's probably also too because there's not really any rom-coms, you know, that genre film really out. So that kind of helps it. He's Drew saying, "What's your favorite performance in a music biopic?" I think Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. A music biopic.
For
I don't know if
me,
I've seen a ton.
Austin Butler as Elvis, for me, is
He was good.
I really enjoyed that Elvis movie. So that for me, haven't seen the Bohemian Rhapsody movie yet. That is one again on my watch list. But so music biopic, yeah, Austin Butler for me is a standout.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody specific. Like I did like Elvis. Rock of Ages was a pretty good movie. I don't know if that was a biopic technically, but that was a good like music type movie. I can't think of anything else. I never saw the Aretha Franklin biopic, so I can't say much about that. I can't think of anything else. Not recently, anyway. So I guess I will go with Elvis too. Don't ask him about Roadhouse. Oh yeah, he messaged me on Instagram and he was like, "Oh, have you seen this trailer for Roadhouse?" And I was like, "No, I haven't watched it because like the Prime one or whatever that's coming out."
Yeah,
I was like, "I haven't even seen the original."
same. I've not seen the original either.
I think the original's from the 80s as well. So. Yeah. Jason. Ryan, we did watch the Omen. Oh yeah, that's right. We did watch it. I forgot. Honestly, that was a while ago. I watched so many movies, Jason. I forgot that we even watched it, to be honest with you. So that must not have left a lasting impression on me if I can't remember it. So I guess I need to watch that again and basically be a first time watch because I don't remember it. But now that you mention it, yeah, I remember watching it now. Rusty's in here. Hey, man. For me, the disappointment of Believer makes me have little expectations for the new Omen thing. Yeah, I don't know who's... I don't think, at least David Gordon Green isn't directing it. So that maybe it'll help out a little bit that he's not directing it. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know if I really have like any expectations for that movie. You know, it's a prequel, so excuse me. I'll probably just go in there like, you know, with no expectations and just hopefully like it's entertaining enough and better and a little bit more entertainment than the Exorcist movie, because I went to take my son to that, and he's really been getting into horror. And he said to me, he turned to me, I think it was about an hour in the movie. He goes, "This is really boring." So if he does that, you know that the movie's not very good. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Omen. Being centered around a grown female seems a bit off for the Omen as well. Yeah, like I said, I don't remember seeing the other ones. The dude from Riverdale. Okay, he's talking about what's his name? What's that guy's name? Cole Spruce. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never seen Riverdale. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
No, we are not really gonna fight. Come on, bro. Nah, I know you're joking. He was also in Friends and Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I think he's referring to Cole Spruce. Review Bomb saying, yeah, Kamal and Johnny. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Slim Jim removed their deal from WWE, and Brock Lesnar is pulling out of the Rumble. Wow. Dude, that's like huge. He's like a big deal.
Was Lesnar advertised, or was he going to be like a surprise entrance?
I don't know. I haven't watched wrestling in a while. So honestly, a lot of the news that he does on his channel, like I learned from him, like, oh, that's what's going on. So
Slim Jim's a big deal though, because like I remember even like back in like 2009, 2008, they were like advertising it for WrestleMania, Slim Jim sponsorship, that kind of stuff. So for them to remove that deal from WWE is insane.
Yeah, it sounds like they've got some really crazy stuff going on. And it's really ironic that happened, because literally the other day they just announced that whole Netflix deal for $5 billion with Raw or whatever going over there. I'm honestly surprised that Netflix is just now getting into the whole live sports thing, because you know other platforms have been doing it, like Peacock and Apple Plus TV, like Apple Plus TV. I don't know if you watch sports, but Apple Plus TV does baseball, and Peacock has been doing. They just did the playoff football game. I think they do some soccer too, or I think maybe that might be Paramount. I'm not sure, but yeah, they all these streaming services are doing sports.
I know Amazon Prime does some like football,
Thursday night football.
No, like the soccer.
Okay, I got you.
I just hate that word. I call it football, but yeah, like they do that sometimes on like Amazon during like the busy period in December. But yeah, no, I know. Apple TV. I know, like when I was watching Ted Lasso last year, I remember seeing them advertising like the sports stuff on there. But I feel like with Raw though, it's especially with Netflix. Like I don't think they do live stuff anyway. Like I don't know how they're going to be able to handle that, because I've never seen like a live thing in Netflix ever.
Yeah, I haven't either. I think they did the stand-up comedy thing with Chris Rock, I think that's who it was. Could have been somebody else I'm thinking of, but they did that. But no, I've never seen a live thing, so I'm interested to see how that goes. I mean, we'll find out next year how that will go. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes, because like I remember when they switched over from the WWE app to Peacock, and that took a little bit to get used to. I remember because that's when I was kind of watching, like I was watching wrestling like pretty heavy, I would say, like between like 2016, 17 into like maybe a little bit before COVID. maybe a little bit into COVID, and the last few years just kind of fell out of it again. But yeah, like I'm interested to see where it goes. I may check out the Rumble just like for the curiosity, just because I haven't watched in a while. See who's still on there. I used to go to all the NXT events. They used to do the house shows and everything here, because WWE has got NXT here in Florida, so they do a lot of the house shows. As a matter of fact, they do a lot of the house shows at like the army bases and military bases. And I have a military base that's not too far from my house where they were doing shows. So that was cool to see NXT because I got to see some of the bigger stars. Like I met Rhea Ripley before she got really famous, dude, and she looks nothing like she used to look like how she looks now. Like she didn't have that gothic look to her at all.
Like what year would you say this was?
This was like 2018. I met her. And no one knew who the hell she was. She wasn't on TV. She wasn't wrestling on TV. And her hair was long and she was blonde. So nothing like she is now. This was also at the time when like Velveteen Dream was coming up. Aleister Black was coming up. Trying to think who else. Some of the tag teams were coming up like Street Profits. And I got to meet some of them, and it was really cool. I remember I went to. I haven't watched NXT in a while, so I don't know if they still do the tapings because they used to do. What they used to do is they used to tape 4 shows. You would attend the event; it would be 2 hours long. They would tape all 4 shows, and then they would premiere each one each week, and then they would do a new taping, and then. They would invite the crowd and everything and all that there. And I had attended a few times. And those tapings are great to go to because you see 4 shows before everybody else. Yeah. And it all airs within that next month. You already know all the results and everything that's coming up. And they meet so many wrestlers. Like I remember I met Io Shirai. I met Aliyah, I think is her name. I met, I don't know what her name is now. I think they changed her name, but Casey Catanzaro. I met so many women wrestlers. Like they would just be like, they literally, while you're sitting there in line, they're literally out there like buying food at the food trucks and everything. And like, you can walk up to them and take pictures with them and everything. It was super cool, super chill. Yeah. I loved it. So, it's cool to see like people that were in that small space, like go to the limelight and be bigger.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest thing, watching somebody grow and having that success. And even with like different subject, but like even with like your channel, when I first saw your channel, I think when I first came to your channel, I think you had like 2 or 3 subscribers. Now you're like on the road to 400, and it's like wow, like he's really grown. So it's cool to see that.
Yeah.
Review bomb in here saying, hey guys, what was a surprise for you at the movies in 2023? Mine was Talk to Me. I wasn't expecting much from a horror movie in July, but I thought it was good, especially for a first-time director. Biggest surprise.
I think it would have to be Godzilla -1. I was not expecting to be blown away with that movie, and it ended up being my second favorite movie of the year. That's how amazing it was. And I wish I could have gone there like multiple times to the theaters to go watch it again, but it just blows my mind how amazing it was. And even in my review, like I just could not stop praising it. Like I just had a huge smile on my face. I was enjoying myself talking about this movie because of how much I enjoyed this movie, and it surprised me in terms of like how great it was.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like sometimes what our expectations could be in a movie. For me, surprise last year, I would say there was a couple surprises. The first one would be Air. I didn't expect that movie to captivate me as much as it did, about a shoe, or like creating that iconic shoe. I thought it was very entertaining and had some comedy, and I really enjoyed the acting. And another movie that surprised me too was Champions.
Yeah.
It was a very funny movie, which I didn't expect. And even though it was like that sports kind of drama kind of movie where the team is sucks and they're trying to get better and all that stuff, I just thought it was a real charming movie, and it really did. It really, like, I didn't expect it to be as high as it would be on my list. So it's great when you can have, like, I guess, low expectations for something, and then it turns out to be something completely different. So those would be my surprises from last year. Anthony says the first 6 seasons of The Walking Dead are excellent, then it's hit or miss after that. Negan was a solid villain, but he overstayed his welcome like crazy. The Governor is still the best villain. Honestly, I don't even think I even got to season 6. I think I maybe got to 3 or 4, and that was it. So I can't really comment. And then you haven't seen Walking Dead.
No, not yet.
Rusty says Talk to Me was my number 1 in my rank vid. Cobweb and Demeter really surprised me how much I love them. Cobweb, I liked as well. I still hate that they released that on Barbenheimer week. I don't know why they did that. Terrible decision.
Yeah, that really was a dumb decision.
I liked Talk to Me. I don't know if I loved it as much as others. I liked it. Obviously, I've heard there's a sequel now, apparently.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised by that. And Demeter, I know you like that one, Rusty. I did not care for that movie. But I'm also very particular on my vampire movies. So I don't know how you feel. How do you feel about vampire movies? Are you like kind of take it or leave it?
Yeah, I'm kind of like hit and miss with it. I'll sit through it, but yeah, I haven't checked out the Demeter one. I think that one's the one that came out in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out. I've heard like some people like it, some people didn't like it. So
Yeah.
one I do want to check out, but with vampires, yeah, it's like hit and miss for me.
Yeah. So I'm always skeptical. Like, I didn't like that one or Renfield last year. I didn't like Renfield really at all. I like Nick Cage, but I just didn't care for that one. Let's see. He says, I feel the same about comedy and rom-coms, especially. Horror be my thing. Laugh out loud. I love sci-fi and action, though, too. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like we all kind of know what we like. Like, we all know what we're going to gravitate more towards. And sometimes if it's a genre we're not really into, it definitely can be hard. Like, for me, I would say the toughest genre for me to get into is probably Westerns. It's just a genre that I just haven't really like found any movie that like I've been like captivated with. Like, I'm like, yeah, I want to watch more Westerns because of this. Do you feel like you have like a genre that is just like, I don't really care about that genre?
I don't have one where it's like I'm completely like pull away from. Westerns are probably one of the weakest for me as well. But in terms of movies, I don't like horror. Exorcism horror movies are one genre that I don't find really not intimidating, like initiate my thought process or makes me want to just sit there and watch the whole movie. Exorcist, like the original one, it's like the standout, but then I've just not been blown away by any other movie. They all just seem to run on the same type of formula. So that is like one that's really just like the one I will just probably not go to the theaters as much for.
I feel like whenever an exorcism movie comes around, a lot of people are really, they always kind of compare it back to The Exorcist. And I think the problem is with that genre, there's only so much you can do. Like, how can you change up an exorcist? You know what I mean? Like, an exorcist is an exorcist, you know? You're trying to get a demon out of someone, you know? So like you have to like I guess like make the character like make the audience care enough about the character, but like I don't know what you can do to really change an exorcism, you know what I mean? So like I think that's the toughest part about that genre.
Even if you just make it something different, like make it whereas like even just exorcism is different and unique, not the same like
Maybe.
bed, like power of Christ compels you type of thing. Like
Yeah.
different. Like that I think will be like the first step towards like being a good genre. But yeah, it's just pretty much same script, same type of cinematography, same type of like formula for that genre.
Yeah. I hear you on that. Angela's saying hello. Hey Angela.
Hey Angela.
Let's see. He's responding to Rusty. Can't believe they are remaking Roadhouse. Abomination, in my opinion. I guess the first one is pretty iconic, Rusty. We were just talking about how I've never seen the original.
Yes.
So one I definitely need to check out. Sitting Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash, Taron Egerton as Elton John, and Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury, referring to the biopics that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, I forgot about the Elton John movie. That was really good too. I really liked that movie. Elton John is not my normal music that I jam to, but I really respect him and I really like his music for what like he does. And I actually really like that movie. I have that one in my collection. I've never seen Freddie Mercury, so I can't comment on that. And I've never seen the Johnny Cash movie, so can't say much.
Any of these movies yet?
Oh, okay. So you never saw the Elton John one either?
No, like the one that really like stood out was Elvis, and then Freddie Mercury is the one that I really wanted to check out, but I just haven't had the chance. And then I think 2022 was a Whitney Houston. I don't know if it's a biopic or if it's like a different type of genre when it comes to like that movie. So I do want to get more into like these biopics because they are surprisingly good for me. So I'll have to check out all three of these as well.
Yeah, definitely check out the Elton John one. That one's really good. Oh, here we go. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story is the greatest biopic ever. Dude, I still laugh on that movie. It is like the dumbest humor. I think you remember, I don't know if it was you or not. I think you said you didn't see that movie from what I remember.
No, I've not checked out this one.
Okay. Dude, it's like stupid humor. It's got John C. Reilly in it. So he basically, I'm trying to think, like they kind of like it's like a parody movie, kind of like they make fun of kind of like other musicians, but they try to make you, I don't know, like take his character in a way that's like it's biopic to a point, but it's parody at the same time. But it's like really stupid humor. It depends on your humor, I would say. So I'm not sure if it'll be something that you would like. Hey, we got Husker Nation in the house. Hey man, what's going on? Favorite movie of 2023. So mine was Evil Dead. I love that movie.
Mine was Spider-Verse.
A lot of people really like that. Probably this is a controversy opinion, but the first one I couldn't get into. So that's why I never saw the second one. And animation, it just depends with me. I don't know. I don't know if it was because like there was like a lot going on. Like the animation isn't bad or anything. Like I think the animation's good, but I could never get into the first one. Maybe the second one is different from the first one, but I mean, I don't know.
No, it's one of the better Spider-Man, like not the best Spider-Man movies there is, but it's definitely a really strong contender for like one of the top like 3 Spider-Man movies out there. And is it because like part 1 is like not a complete story, or is it because you just weren't a fan of like the story when it comes to part 1?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was like with the first one, like I don't know if it was definitely maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset when I was watching. Maybe it was like just the how because sometimes you get like tired or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it was one of those things, but I don't know. It just wasn't capturing my attention. So, I mean, I know everybody loves it. I know it's a controversial opinion.
No, I would definitely recommend, especially like part two, not just with the story, but even like the way they handle the animation too. Like, especially in Gwen's world, it's really, really great. Like in terms of what they do with the movie. So I would really, really recommend like both the movies so far. Honestly, if you wait till maybe part two or the third movie in the trilogy comes out, then you can watch it all at the same time. I think that might make it more tolerable for you.
Maybe so, yeah. I'd probably just like, different mindset going into it, like thinking a little different because maybe I need to give the second one a chance and check it out eventually. Everybody said they loved it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anthony says When Evil Lurks was one of his favorites last year. Did you guys enjoy that one? Yes, I did like that one. I got a screener for that one, so I got to check that one out a little bit early. I did like that one. I thought it was more the better Shudder films last year. And that one, I would say that one kind of caught me by surprise. I don't think it's like a perfect movie by any means, but I really liked it for what it was. I do feel like foreign horror, they're definitely, I feel like they're stepping up their game more than like American horror. I feel like American horror is kind of behind, I believe. I don't know if you really watch much horror, but I don't know. That's how I kind of feel about the horror game. I feel like definitely foreign horror has been stepping it up.
I agree with that. I haven't checked out Evil Lurks yet, but when it comes to like top movies or like the top horror movies of 2023, a lot of people were putting Evil Lurks in there, and a lot of people were recommending this movie to check out. So I've heard nothing but good things about this movie, so it definitely is on my watch list to check out.
Yeah, it's all in Spanish, but it's it's definitely got an interesting feeling to it and like surrounding to it, and some of the things in it, not giving anything away, it can be kind of shocking at times. So, for some, they may not like some of the stuff in it. So that's all I'll say. Horror is the best genre. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I really love horror. It's definitely up there in one of my favorite genres. My favorite movie of last year was Playing with Gerard Butler. Yeah, so when I first watched that movie, I thought it was kind of okay-ish, but I did give it a second watch, and I liked it more the second time. I think I had a little bit more fun with it. I feel like they could do a sequel to it. I think I heard they're doing a sequel to it.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're doing it on a ship though this time.
Oh, so is it going to be called Shipped?
So yeah, I could be wrong, but I think I have read that it was going to be on a ship this time. But I've only seen it once, and like the plane, and yeah, I thought it was okay, but not one that stands out. But no, I'm glad it's like your favorite movie.
Yeah, that's great. That's definitely not one I would say that I've heard many people really talk about because it came out in the beginning of January last year. Yeah. I feel like it kind of came and went, and then people kind of they just they watched it on streaming, is what it was. Russ says, I agree. Horror and all its subgenres are the best genres. Yeah, I know you're a big horror fan. Dave says, isn't of Netflix and chill, now it's going to be Netflix and Raw. Right? Husker says, someone asked surprise movie for me. It was Barbie because it was mad overrated. Yeah, a lot of people have very strong opinions on that movie. I went to go see it with my wife, and she thought it was. She liked it better more than me.
Do you want to get your cookie?
Huh?
Do you want your cookie?
Yeah.
Get the chair. It's over there.
For me, for Barbie, I would say that I thought it was okay. I don't know, like some of the humor worked for me, some of it didn't. I know a lot of people didn't like it, and then there's other people that loved it. So I feel like opinions are kind of all around like the spectrum. Like it's just going to depend on the individual. But I thought it was okay. My wife enjoyed it, so split opinions there. What was your opinion on Barbie? If you've seen it,
Yeah, no, I enjoy it for most of it. Okay. Sorry, guys.
you guys.
Just get the chair and then pull it all the way over there. Yeah. No. Pull the chair. Pull the chair over there. Oh, God. Okay, hold on. I'll bring it.
You're good, man.
Sorry, everyone.
I'll chat with everybody. All right, so you were expecting more from that? Fair enough. He said Ryan had to explain to me what Barbie is about. I couldn't imagine the plot. Laugh out loud. I don't even think I've seen the trailer. Just had zero interest. Fair enough, man. Like I totally get it. It's definitely not something that's like in your ballpark. Usually, if something that you usually would watch anyway. So no big deal, man. You're not missing much if it's not really in your wheelhouse anyway. Husker saying also like Thanksgiving, a gory good time. Yeah, Thanksgiving was really fun. I really enjoyed that more than I thought I was going to. Definitely a B-flick horror movie. The beginning scene with the whole like basically like Walmart Black Friday thing is like so accurate. So I really love the kills in that movie. It's a fun movie overall. Did you see Thanksgiving or you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't checked out Thanksgiving yet. I've been behind with a lot of 2023 movies just because I spent most of 2023 doing the whole binge watching for the Arrowverse for like the video that I did. So a lot of movies I have been behind on, but then with like Thanksgiving because it came out end of November time and just I had time with work and all that stuff. So I
get it.
Check it out.
Fair enough. That one I would put on your list for sure.
Yeah.
Dave saying mine was Sound of Freedom only because I heard so much hype and shit talking from other platforms. I had to go see it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of controversy about that movie. Like the makers and I think the guy behind it. And personally, like, I don't know. I've heard people say they like it, but I'm just not sure if it's something that I'll check out. It's definitely a tough subject matter, so I'm just not sure, to be honest. I used to messaging him. Champions is so underrated, and I wish more people didn't overlook it due to the whole disability thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was kind of released in a month where, like, there was a lot of stuff that was bunched up because I think, if I remember correctly, there was a lot of stuff that was released around it. I think you had, like, 3 or 4 movies that dropped at the same time. So I think it was, like, overlooked. So I think it's one of those movies where people were going to like Peacock and checking that one out there. So I think it's just like one of those movies that's like, I guess, perfect for streaming. So I guess that's what it is.
Sorry, give me 1 minute.
You're good, man. Take your time.
Sorry.
Zach saying, hey guys, what's going on, Zach? Appreciate you joining. Hulk Hogan may or not be coming back. Something about Royal Rumble. Dude, like, how old is that dude now? Isn't he, like, 65 or something now? Like, man, like, what? Hopefully I don't know, man. I don't think he could wrestle at this point. Cal saying, what's up, Brian? Good to see you back live. Hey, man. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. It's been a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit since I've been live, other than the stream I did about my top movies. So I'm glad to be back on doing these hangouts. So hopefully I'll be doing them more. Let's see. Guys talking back and forth. Dave says, for me, it's the sports genre. You're burned out and you're also burned out if the demon possession movies. Yeah, the sports genre, that's kind of another genre where I feel like they really, there's only so much they can do with a lot of those movies. Like recently though, I watched Next Goal Wins, the what's his name, Taika Waititi. I watched that and I didn't really like that movie that much. It was like a soccer, supposed to be, I guess, like uplifting kind of movie where the team sucked, and it's kind of like that generic plot where they're really bad. And I didn't really like it very much. It didn't have much soccer action, and it kind of made me miss like the old Big Green. Definitely, it made me miss those kind of Disney movies. So yeah, I didn't really like that. Let's see. Rusty says, with 2,500 plus Blu-rays and DVDs, I don't think I own one sports genre film. So I obviously really don't care for that genre. I totally get that. If you didn't play sports, didn't grow up with sports, didn't have anybody that like really, I guess, introduced you to sports, I could totally understand why you wouldn't like that genre. So I completely get that. But I do think there are some sports films out there that are influential and are good movies. Like Remember the Titans is a great football movie. The Replacements, I'm a little biased towards that movie because Keanu Reeves is in it and it takes place in Baltimore, where I'm from. So I've always really loved that football movie. Let's see. You guys got a bunch of people saying what's up. I think they need to do other culture for Exorcist films. I feel like we've had a few movies where they've kind of dabbled into culture aspect. Like last year, you had that movie, It Lives Inside, which it really had potential, but it just didn't really live up, I think, to like the story. It wasn't obviously like an Exorcist movie, but it was dealing with a different culture. I would like to see that, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's something that we'll get. That's the thing.
But at least it's something different.
Yeah, looking for something different with like with cultures and Exorcist films. Yeah, I think that would help because it seems like it's always a white person all the time. Yeah, it's always a white person that's possessed. Like, there's got to be other people that can be possessed. I don't know. My least favorite of the year was 65 because it had hell of a concept and it failed to be executed well. A lot of people did not like that movie. I liked the movie. I wouldn't say I loved it, but it wasn't on my least favorite, and that's probably mainly because I watched some lower budget stuff, like shitty movies like Cocaine Shark last year. Yeah. Cocaine Shark, dude. I mean, I remember watching that movie. I think Mike introduced me to that movie, and he's like, dude, you got to watch this Cocaine Shark movie. And I'm like, I don't think I need to, but dude, it was horrible. Like, I'll never forget it. Like, literally, they're showing the shark and they're showing like clip art, basically.
Yeah, I think I saw the trailer for that. It looks so bad.
I mean, it's terrible, 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 terrible movie. I mean, I'll watch 65 10 times more before I watch Cocaine Shark. So
no, but 60, like just like Oscar says, the concept was there. Like, you had so much potential with this, and how you fluffed it this badly is beyond me. Like, I was really excited to check this out because it's a different, like, you don't get much dinosaur movies, and with this, it was one of my most anticipated movies of the month, and it left me so disappointed.
Yeah, a lot of people felt that way. I can understand. I can definitely understand. It definitely was a movie that could have done a little bit more. So I can understand where people are disappointed with it. First Point, Break Now Road. If they do Ghost, we riot. I'm not sure what he's referring to.
The Roadhouse movie.
Okay.
Because I think all three of these movies came out in the 80s. So I know that they did like a remake of Point Break. They're doing a remake of Roadhouse. I agree that if they do a remake of Ghost, then we should riot because I don't think.
Oh, is he talking about Ghost Rider?
No, Ghost. Can't remember who is with. I might be thinking of a different movie then, but Ghost isn't that the one with the name's escaping me here. Hold on.
Okay. I don't know what Ghost is.
The one with Patrick Swayze. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm going to show you, see if you recognize this at all. Might be.
Oh, okay. Nah, I never heard of that movie.
You haven't seen that?
I don't know what it is.
It's a really good movie. I would recommend, but I don't think they could do a remake for that one at all. I don't think it would even be as good or even work with this generation or this day and age now.
I'll take your guys' word for it. There was a Whitney Houston one. Yeah, I thought that one was just okay. I wasn't big on that biopic movie. Did you see that one? I can't remember if you did.
It's on my watch list. I've been meaning to check it out. I just haven't had the chance. The trailer did intrigue me though.
The Michael Jackson biopic drops next year. I wonder how it's going to do. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to include and not include, because I remember like towards the end of his career, he was very controversial. So I wonder how they'll kind of shape that movie. Like, will they go into that controversy, or will they like leave it sunshines and rainbows? So
I won't see them going into it.
I don't think so either. That's going to be interesting. Sounds very Step Brothers, like Dewey Cox. Yes, I would say yes on that. Way out of left field, but the low budget Anna Nicole biopic really hurt me. It was way too close to the truth, and I really loved it. That story deserves big screen treatment. I haven't heard about that one.
Same.
I haven't heard about that one, so I can't really comment much on that one. But if it was good, yeah, I mean, there probably is some reason, I'm sure, why it's not on a big screen. I'm sure there's some politics behind it or something. One of the best franchise most haven't seen was Norway's Cold Prey franchise. All three of them are so amazing, so foreign horror is often overlooked. I've never heard of them. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I'll have to put that on my list then to check out. Never
heard of those. Where's the cookie at, man? I had some Oreo cookies a couple hours ago.
It's the only way to keep him calm. Just give him some sugar, him.
He might manage or something. I remember him and Ric Flair did a few things ago. He mentioned about Hulk Hogan coming back to the Royal Rumble when you were giving him his cookies.
Isn't Hulk Hogan like 90 or something?
I was just saying, isn't he like 70s or something? I don't know how old he is.
I mean,
he looks good for his age, but like, man, can he even wrestle? I'd be afraid to death for him to do too much.
I mean, with what Ric Flair's sort of in AEW right now, doing a manager type of thing with Sting, so possibly, but the question is, who would he manage? Because I don't know if I can't even think of anybody on the roster that would be a good fit with him as a manager right now.
Now, I haven't watched, obviously, in a little bit. Does Roman Reigns still have the title? Oh my God.
He's been champion for over 1,000 days.
My thing is, okay, and I'll just say this. Is there really nobody else that can take that title off him? Do they not have a big enough superstar to do it? Or are they trying to make him break records, you think?
He's already broken all the records, I think.
Oh, he has? Okay.
Because he's going on 3.5 years now, and if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I thought it was a while, because I remember even when I was starting to stop watching. Like he had the title then, so that's crazy.
I think they're building up to Cody Rhodes doing it, but
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be Cody Rhodes. I don't know if it's going to be The Rock at WrestleMania. But if it is Cody Rhodes, then he could. But if it is Cody Rhodes, then I definitely do see him dropping the titles to Rhodes at WrestleMania.
It'd be interesting if it was The Rock, because I don't think The Rock has anything like movies coming out. I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think he does. Except for, well, he's doing the live action Moana, but I don't know when that's due.
Well, they're filming in October for that.
Okay. So maybe he might be I mean, that would make sense. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the Michael Fassbender, I think. I don't know what he's referring to. What will be your shocker movie of this year? I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know. I hope it's something where I don't think it's going to be that great and it just shocks me. It doesn't matter what it is, but at this point, with the streak of bad movies I've seen this month, I hope it's anything at this point, because I've seen some stinkers. The Waterboy, Longest Yard, Remember the Titans, Sandlot, and American Underdog are good examples. Yeah, I agree. All those movies are good. Sandlot has always been like a staple. I grew up playing baseball, so like I really loved that movie. American Underdog was pretty good. I wish there was more football action in that one, but I still like that movie. Obviously, because I grew up with Kurt Warner. Longest Yard's good with Adam Sandler. Waterboy's always funny. Remember the Titans is great. So I agree with all those picks.
Yeah.
And he says 80 for Brady, not so much. Yeah, 80 for Brady was not good. I don't know if you saw that one or not.
I have. I remember seeing your review for it, and I saw the trailer for it when I was watching A Man Called Otto, and it didn't look like it. One I would check out, and then your review just put the nail in the coffin for me.
You're like, nah, I'm good. Cocaine Shark was so bad it was good. No, dude. That movie was just bad. Clip art sharks? No, I'm not interested. No. Not good. So I can't agree with that there. They just don't make sports films about my sports. I follow rugby and European football, soccer. Not any of those films. Well, Rusty, I don't know if you know, but there is a tennis film that's coming out called Challengers.
Oh yeah.
So that has Zendaya in it. It looks decent. I'm gonna check it out. That comes out in April in theaters. I know you don't go to the theaters, Rusty, but I would check that out when it comes out. And have you checked out the tennis movie with Will Smith, with the Serena Williams and Venus Williams? Forget the name. What was it?
Is he the King Richard or just Richard?
King Richard, yeah. That's a pretty good tennis film. I don't think I know any rugby films. So I can't recognize. I can't really.
Even like when he's saying football, there's not really much.
No.
It's more documentaries, like Netflix documentaries and those kind of stuff, rather than actual like Hollywood movies for football.
Yeah, that's true. So Rusty, I would check out those two tennis movies. Yes, Cocaine Shark is a classic. Oh my god. He says he actually enjoyed Cocaine Bear a lot. Speaking of, I did not like that movie. Did you watch Cocaine Bear?
I did. I didn't think it was bad or anything. Like it's bearable. No pun intended.
Yeah, I think I wanted a little bit more action with the bear. I think is what it was for me.
Yeah.
I think I cared less about the characters than I cared about the bear. So, I didn't. I thought it was kind of meh. Can we get a Cocaine Bear 2, please? I wouldn't doubt if we did, honestly.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do make a part 2.
Cocaine Bear was pretty good. Husker saying, and he says you got exactly what you're paying for. And Rusty saying Cocaine Shark certainly near the top of my worst list. It was either 2 or 3, I'm sure. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said it was bad. It's definitely a bad one. And that film company that made that film, they're called Wild Eye Releasing. They tend to make very low budget bad movies. So if you like those kinds of movies, that is the perfect studio for you. Because I last year I also watched another movie. I did in a collab where we watched Velocipaster, where you have this pastor that turns into like a velociraptor. And he's fighting like this clan of ninjas and everything.
What the fuck?
It's a freaking it's actually on Prime. So if you get bored, dude, and the beginning scene is so funny. So in the beginning scene, it's so low budget. So there's a part where like he's on the steps and like this explosion happens, right? And they obviously didn't have enough money to like make an explosion, so they wrote explosion like on the screen. And literally like you see him like crying or whatever.
Oh my God.
It's like it's so freaking bad. And there's like another part too in the movie where his wife is like running through like a minefield and like she blows up and like one of the characters says, "Is she okay, man? Is she okay, man?" And I was like, "No, she's not okay. She just got blown to smithereens and like her blood is all smeared everywhere." I mean, it's a horrible movie, but it makes you laugh. So that's Velocipaster. So yeah, they make weird movies. And they started Patrick Swayze Ghost Point Breaking Red House. Okay, I got you. He says Whoopi Goldberg won an Oscar for Ghost. Okay. He says The Exorcist Believer incorporated multiple religions and a little possessed black girl. I actually thought that Leslie Odom Jr. did a great job in that role. Yeah, I don't think like anybody was bad in it per se, Anthony. I don't know. Like I wasn't like trying to compare it to the original because like I knew like it wasn't going to be like that. I was trying to accept it for being something new. Because honestly, I've only seen The Exorcist probably like twice in my lifetime. I don't have as much nostalgia for it as everybody else, but I really do like it. But yeah, I tried to go on that movie like pretty subjective and like not judge it based on the original, and knowing that it wouldn't be as great as it. I don't know. I just didn't come out really liking it. I wouldn't say like I hated it completely and like loathe it, but I just didn't really care for it all that much. So
yeah, it was mostly the story that
yeah, I think that's what it was for me. It's definitely what it was for me. Alrighty. Let's see. Hogan is 70 to be exact. There's our answer.
Okay, yeah, actually, it kind of looks good for 70 then.
Hulk Hogan gonna pull his back out, just getting in the ring. No one likes Hulk Hogan nowadays in WWE. Hogan said way too many racist stuff. Yeah, that's what I heard. The Rock might beat him. He says. That's what we were just talking about. He says AJ Styles. That could be true.
I don't think AJ Styles has even been like I know they're facing in the Royal Rumble, but I don't see AJ Styles getting the win. Like I don't see him dropping the titles at the Royal Rumble, but I think if if it is going to be somebody, it's going to be Cody Rhodes because of the whole finishing the story.
Mm-hmm.
If they go for the, I just like, as much as it would be nice to see The Rock win the title, it just kind of feels like you need somebody like the next superstar, like the next big top guy to beat him, rather than like a legend or somebody from like past years beating him, because it kind of just like defeats the whole purpose of building up this possibility of somebody like taking the titles from him.
That's true. Yeah, like you got to have some momentum to make it make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, he's saying Michael Fassbender in the Takiti movie. Yeah. Didn't hate him in the role, but his character's an asshole in there. So it is hard to, really care about his character in that. No, plus The Rock is in the board of directors of TKO and is still doing XFL. I think that Rock is slowing down movie wise. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Dave. I don't think he's doing many movies. He's got his hand in so many other projects that I don't see him doing as many movies. He doesn't need the money anyway.
He's not been the same since Black Adam and James Gunn.
No.
Kicking him out of like DC. He's just not been the same.
No, not at all. There was a battle of the sexes that was tennis with Steve Carell and Emma Stone. I don't think I've seen that one.
Same. It's actually intriguing to me.
Sounds like a good cast. Let's see. We're almost caught up on comments. Cocaine Bear did make an honorable mention on my top list. Cocaine Bear, he's talking about. Make an honorable mention on my top list, so I loved it. I hope Elizabeth does a Cocaine Bear too. I do like Elizabeth Banks. I think she's a good actress. She's always in movies usually that I like for the most part. I just didn't care for Cocaine Bear that much. Wow, Velocipaster. Yeah, dude. If you want a bad movie, I'm telling you, there's some scenes in there, dude, that will make you laugh. I'm almost positive, because I watched it with a collaboration with somebody else, and we were laughing with it. So I definitely think that you'd laugh at the scenes in there. So Scream 7 is rumored to be still coming out next year. What do you guys think of that? To be honest, I love the Scream franchise. I mean, obviously I grew up with the older ones, but at this point, I almost feel like if most of the cast isn't going to be there at this point, it feels almost like maybe like they need to go a different direction, maybe. I don't know if I want to say like reboot it, but it's like at this point you don't have those characters anymore. The director quit, so you got to come up with something if you're still going to make it.
I think they are making it. I was reading about it actually a couple of days ago that there is rumored that they have found another director, but they don't want to announce anything because of the backlash that they're getting every time something comes out with it. But see, I'm not that hyped at all. Like I mentioned it when like this first all started. You could bring back Stu Matcha to the franchise, and I still wouldn't even be like rushing out to go see the movie. It's just the way they handled everything was just so pathetic. And at this point, you, like you said, you have to reboot it, because the only person that you could bring back would be Nev Campbell. Even then, like nobody else. Like I think even like Courtney Cox isn't going to return. Every other character out there is distancing themselves. So at this point, you have to just reboot the whole thing, and then even then, I don't even think anybody's going to even be that excited to go check out the new characters or anything like that, unless you really do something unique with Ghostface and have him front and center. But it's like a sour taste in my mouth right now with it. So I'm not all that hyped, even if it does come out.
It's just going to be interesting what they're going to choose to do, I think. I mean, I'm going to watch it regardless, whatever they choose to do. I don't know enough of like the whole situation of like everything that was said. I don't like lean too much into it. I just know like the basic stuff, like with Barrera and Ortega, and I've heard conflicting things about Ortega where she sided with her, and then I also heard like she wasn't going to really be in the film anyway because of like scheduling conflicts. I heard, so I don't know like what is supposedly true.
It was apparent that it was just money. Like she wanted more money for Scream 7, and they refused. So she wasn't gonna do it. That was like the main sticking point. Apparently, it wasn't anything to do with what happened with Melissa Barrera, but she still backs Melissa Barrera anyway
for her cause. Yeah,
it was just mainly the money. Like she wanted more money, but they were refusing to give it to her. Which honestly is the same thing with Nev Campbell as well. Like they don't pay what they're worth, and I don't blame her for it at all. Like her and like Melissa Barrera are like the two pillars of the Scream franchise right now, so they definitely do deserve to get more, even though like you get paid a ridiculous amount anyway.
Yeah,
like, you get paid in the millions, but yeah, like it's mainly just due to money there.
I got you. Fair enough. We had a couple more comments here. Just Wild-Eyed is too many intentionally bad. It's kind of a scam of theirs. They have a couple good films, but most of all theirs, 97 not good. I've noticed that, Rusty. The ones I've watched have been really awful, so I'm definitely never in a rush to watch any of the stuff that I see of that logo. I like the original Exorcist, but Exorcist 3 is 100 times better. Most interesting thing about the original is the actor who played the radiologist turned out to be real life serial killer. Oh my gosh. Now that's fucked up. That's interesting. I've heard a lot of people say they like the third one. I tried to watch the third one, and I don't remember liking it, to be honest with you. And the second one, I don't think I've watched, so can't comment on that. But I've heard a lot of people say the third one's really good.
It's been a long time. Like the OG is the one I've rewatched the most, maybe like 3 times in my lifetime. But I don't remember the second and third one. I've seen them. I know I've seen them, but I just cannot remember what happens in either of those 2 films.
Yeah, it's one I need to probably watch because I haven't seen it. I don't remember seeing the second one. Emma Stone played Billie Jean King. Even played Billie Jean King. Interesting. I was talking about seeing Challengers. Yeah, I'm going to definitely check out Challengers. Let Scream rest in peace at this point. I mean, I'm fine if they ended at this point. But the 7th still happens. Like it seems like it's going to. I'll go see it. The Scream 7 controversy was a joke to me. Just replace those 2 girls with 2 other brown hair girls and give us a slasher. Most of us don't care if it's just a decent popcorn slasher. Yeah, I guess from that point of view, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, I watched your video the other day, and you were talking about it, and I guess it just depends on because like it seems like with both of them, they had become household names pretty quick, and people love them. Like Jenna Ortega is super popular right now, which is very surprising with the new Miller's Girl movie that came out because they haven't advertised that at all. And she's obviously in that movie. But, them 2 are significantly popular from that franchise right now. So I think it's one of those things where I think it's going to take a lot for some people to get to the fact that they're not going to be there anymore and having a 7th movie, because like this is a franchise that it seems like people like are diehards for. Like I've never seen so many passionate fans about the franchise. So I think it's just like one of those things where it's going to be tough in a way. But I still think those fans that say like they're not going to see the 7th one, like they'll still go because they'll be intrigued to see whether they think it's going to be bad or good. So I still think it'll make money regardless of the controversy. That's just my thing.
No, I agree. I definitely think that people are still going to go regardless of like the controversy, and feel like most of it is not into like with the two casts. For me personally, it wasn't even like they could have, even if this whole controversy never even started and they came out and said that they're just going to go with like a brand new reboot. I honestly would have been fine with it as well, because from literally the first three movies till now, they do like get new characters, bring new characters in, and that kind of stuff while they have like legacy characters anyway.
Right.
But I feel like it's just the way they just handled the whole situation, and then even with the fact that the director whose dream job was this left the project too, it's just not showing them in a great light. But yeah, like whatever they do with the movie, I just feel like the story has to be good. Like the killing, the slashing, like with Scream 6, I really enjoyed the whole New York setting and stuff like that. And what they do now, if the story, if the focus on Ghostface isn't even good, then it's just gonna like dig the grave even deeper then with that.
I think like their best route at this point with the story is them definitely rebooting it, because I think what they could do is you could have new teenagers, you could put it in a different setting. I'm not sure where, but like you could put it in a different setting. You could have like maybe like high school kids, and you can kind of refer back to the old movies still in a way. Like you could have characters refer back going, oh, you know, Ghostface always went after Sydney, and like you could have like callbacks to like maybe some of the older movies, but like a fresh idea, I guess, of it. But I would like them to step up a little bit with the like I really like how the violence kind of stepped up like as it went along. If they could keep that momentum, like I really think that if they wanted to reboot it, I think it's possible, because really there's new killers every time anyway. It's not like you have to continue with the same killers, and you could have new characters. So I think it could work. I understand people's feelings with the main girls and their like love for those characters, because people like fell in love with those characters. But like, yeah, I'm cool if they reboot it and have different characters. So whatever they do, like, you know, I'm gonna go out and watch it and give it a fair shot and fair review, because it's a franchise that I love. I like. Even the thing is, even with my least favorite movie, it's not even a movie where it's like I'm never watching that ever. It's just one of my least favorites. Like the fourth one is my least favorite personally. But like it's still a franchise like I would watch over and over and wouldn't get sick of.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those franchises. At this point, you might as well bring in the MTV Screamcast and make some weird spin-off movie. I mean, if it's decent, like decent enough actors, and you can make a decent enough story. I mean, if it works, it works. You know what I mean? Like I was just saying, like if they could keep the violent level at where it's at, or maybe go a little bit beyond, I think could be a good movie. George C. Scoot was amazing. Gonna do his movie Hardcore next, and then its spiritual successor 8mm. I haven't seen any of those films, so I'll be interested. I've seen a lot of Nick Cage films. Surprisingly, I think in his acting credits, I think he's done like 130, 140 films, something like that. I could be wrong, but he's done a ton, and I've seen quite a bit. I would say at least a good 30, 40 of them, but a lot of his older ones I haven't seen. So I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on them, man. We got, I think it's pronounced Shazer. I could be wrong. I'm gonna say Shazer. He's always commenting on my stuff. I love watching his stuff and the reactions and stuff all the time. But he asked, have you guys watched Poor Things yet? It's a super limited release in my country, which sucks. So I have a lot of theaters by me, and a few of them got it, but they had like really bad times, so I hadn't been able to see it. The theater by my house just got it this weekend. The plan is to watch it. I want to try to watch it tomorrow, possibly. So I may watch it tomorrow, and I might do a review on it for the heck of it. I'm not sure, but at the very least, I'll watch it. And if I don't do a review on YouTube, I'll do a letterbox review. But I'm very interested to see it. I really like Emma Stone. I've heard some very interesting things. I've heard it's a very overly sexualized movie, so I'm very interested to see the direction. William Dafoe with being in it as well, so I'm interested. So I am gonna put that and see that. And another one that I've been waiting for that finally came to my theater is American Fiction as well. I want to watch that as well.
Well, yeah, I want to check out American Fiction too. Poor Things, I'm most likely just waiting until streaming. They had it when it released, like in the theaters for I think for like a month, and then it just got removed. So it's no longer available in my theaters around me. But it's definitely one I do want. I've heard really interesting things about this one, so it's
Yeah.
something I want to check out as well.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. I haven't really watched many reviews on it, just because I kind of want to go in kind of fresh as possible. So I'm very interested to check it out. So that definitely will be seeing that soon. Dave says, I did, and oh boy, laugh out loud. I see. He says, if they reboot Scream 7, then Dewey needs to come back because his death makes no sense now.
The only problem is that if they bring him back with a whole brand new cast, it'll just it kind of would be weird just seeing him with a whole bunch of like new characters in there.
I agree. I think you got to scrap everybody at this point. Like even I wouldn't even bring Nev Campbell back. I think you have to just reboot it all at this point. Because what's the point of having them at this point? Like they don't have much use of the script other than like if you're afraid to death that nobody will show up. But I still think, like I said, I still think the controversy, people will be pissed about it, but I still think at the end of the day, they're going to show up and support the franchise. That's just what I think. It's awesome to see you guys live. I'd like to thank you guys for always supporting my channel. I appreciate it a lot. Dude, no problem. Like, I'm there all the time, man. You always got some reaction or some review. And your videos are very easy to watch. And, I enjoy what you got to say.
Same. And I appreciate you always checking out my stuff too.
Send me a link to your channel. Check it out. It's Dave talking to him. I've noticed Nick Cage isn't as popular nowadays. I wonder why. I don't know. I mean, I think he's still there. I just think that he does a lot of random movies. He really does. Like last year, he had a ton of random ones. So, he's doing like a lot of small ones. I don't know. He's just kind of all over the place, all over the map with genres.
I've never been a Nick Cage fan. Like,
I remember you saying that. Yeah,
it's just the way he performs. Like his performance is just, I don't know. I can't get into like the movies. Like I've seen Renfield, which I enjoyed despite my feelings towards Nick Cage, but most of his movies are just, I don't know. Like I can't get into his characters in most of his movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of movies that I liked him in. Have you ever seen Knowing? The science fiction movie?
Yeah.
Did you like that movie or you remember it? I know it was a while back.
I probably didn't enjoy it, but it's been a while since I have checked it out. My most memorable Nick Cage movie, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's like with cars in it. It's Death. It might be Death Rider or something along those lines. Something like that. It's like with the cars and stuff like that. That one really irritates.
Oh, Gone in 60 Seconds?
No, it's like Ghost Rider, but with
Drive Angry.
yeah, yes, that's the one.
That movie's awful. Yes, I watched that the other day, and I hadn't watched it in a long time. It's one with Amber Heard, right?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, it's bad.
it's one of my most memorable Nick Cage movies, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. I think I gave that like a 1. It's like a horrible movie. There's literally a part where like, he's literally having sex with a woman, and he like hops up while he's having sex with her, and like turns around and like blows these people to bits. Oh, dude, that movie's bad. I agree. Let's see. Are you good on time or anything? You don't have a time limit or anything, right? Just because we have a few more comments. I don't know if you have a time limit.
No time limit, but just keeping an eye on him just to make sure that he doesn't pop on the couch or anything.
I don't think we'll be going too much longer, but I just want to make sure because we just had some other ones. 8mm introduced Joaquin Phoenix to the world as well. One of his first films, he made a great impact with that film, which is Pretty Brutal film from 1999. Yeah, I've heard of it. I just have never seen it.
Well, I didn't know he was acting back then.
Oh, yeah. He's been around. Shazir says, that's awesome, Ryan. You need to do a review. Poor Things. Laugh out loud. I'm probably going to watch it in April. American Fiction has been getting a lot of critical acclaim. Yeah. I've been very, very interested in checking it out. Because, again, I haven't seen many reviews on it. So I don't think it's, like, had, like, a wide release here in the U.S. Poor Things, yeah, I've seen a lot of people review it, but I've been kind of, like I said, reluctant to check out reviews because I kind of want to go in that one kind of fresh. Nick still delivers. Score to settle. Sympathy for the Devil. Race with the Devil. He can still hit the bullseye. Sympathy for the Devil I did like. I watched last year with him and Joel Kinnaman. I don't know how much of a lasting impact that movie will have for others. I haven't seen Score to Settle. And Race with the Devil, I don't know what that is. So,
yeah,
that must be something else.
I might check out Score to Settle because I like that title, so I might check it out. But it's with Nick. He's like one of the he's the actor that I always have like mixed feelings when it comes to his movies. But I'll check out Score to Settle.
Yeah, we got a whole chat about him. People listing movies down here. You should watch Face Off, National Treasure, and Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider I have seen.
Same.
And I liked it. I don't know if I would say I loved it, but I liked it. National Treasure I never saw, and Face Off I haven't seen. So I can't comment on those.
I'll give him credit. Face Off is one of his better movies. Wasn't a fan of his performances in Ghost Rider at all.
I gotcha. Yeah, my wife really likes that movie. So I thought they were doing a third one, but I don't know if that's true.
Doubt it, no.
But who knows? Angela says she likes knowing, have I seen Moonstruck? No, I have not seen Moonstruck. Don't even know what it's about. I'm going to enjoy SmackDown, guys. I'm still here, just won't be in chat much. No big deal. Enjoy SmackDown.
No spoilers, though.
Dream Scenario was his best performance in years compared to, I guess he's comparing it to Face Off. Yeah, I like Dream Scenario. There was a funny scene in that movie, dude, where literally like this girl is like recounting a sex dream that she had about him, and he literally farts in the middle of like him her trying to get it on with him or whatever. It's funny. It cracked me up. And the thing was, I was in the theater by myself because nobody was watching that movie. I was laughing really loud. It just caught me off guard. Ghost Rider, Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah, I like Gone in 60 Seconds. Him and Angelina Jolie. Let's see. Dave Show. I loved him in Dream Scenario. That film he did with Ty Sheridan, Joe, that was amazing. Never heard of that.
Same.
So I don't know about that. We got somebody in here from Argentina. Hey, Critica Mella. I guess how you pronounce it. Our Critica Mella. Leave
Welcome.
my like greetings from Argentina. Hell yeah, Argentina in the house. Drive Angry was great at the time, but it hasn't aged well. No, I don't think it's good. Are you guys gonna watch Argyle?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll watch it right away, but probably eventually we'll watch it. I know you were saying that you wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to check it out on Friday. To be honest with you, I need content on the channel. It's been a while since I've been posting, so I need to do a quick review or something. So yeah, Argyle plus the trailer really did intrigue me with the cast. So probably next Friday I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I'll eventually get around to it. We had a couple more comments, and then we'll probably end it for the night. And Con Air. Yeah, I've heard Con Air is good. I didn't like Ghost Rider because it should have been Henry Rollins. I'm not familiar with Henry Rollins.
Same.
No to a third Ghost Rider, but he was talked about returning to Multiverse of Madness, I think.
So glad he didn't return.
Interesting. Moonstruck is a romantic comedy that stars Cher. I think it's really funny. Okay. I don't think I've seen her in a movie ever, so that would be interesting. And our last comment that I have in here, you have to see Nick in Valley Girl. The only movie he didn't look 45 years old, which he seemed to begin looking the next year. Laugh out loud. Haven't seen that movie either and heard of it. So, okay, she says Henry Rollins is a singer and he has a badass Ghost Rider song. He also does acting.
Probably would have made
Interesting
performance than Nick Cage.
Well, I appreciate you being on the stream. I guess we'll get ready to end it for the night. Thanks for everybody in the comments. Like, I appreciate it. You guys are killing it. You're killing it. We got through a lot of stuff. So I definitely appreciate everybody watching. I hope everybody has a good weekend. If you are new to YK Reviews, in the description box is his link to his channel. Subscribe to his channel. He does news, he does reviews, he does shows, so you can keep up with all that content on his channel. And you post weekly, so
yes,
plenty of stuff to watch and hear about, especially like if you're not up with all the movie news. He's got all that on there for you. So I appreciate everybody tuning in and leaving comments. Again, subscribe to his channel. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll get ready to sign off. Dude, I appreciate you being on, and
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime. I definitely appreciate it and hanging out.
Definitely.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks everybody for hanging out, asking all the questions, joining us on the chat, and this is technically my first ever live stream, so appreciate everybody being here, and thank you so much for having me on here. I know it's a bit hectic with like my son here, but hopefully the next one, my wife will be here. I'll be able to be more involved, not be as distracted.
Yeah, man, like it worked out. We're good. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end it here, and we'll say peace out, and talk to y'all later.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.